Hello, welcome to Makeup on Point. I'm Christy and welcome to just a normal makeup video. So I have challenged myself to do an illusion makeup because, because Ryan Murphy decided to start posting some cool images for the next season of American Horror Story and their little anthology series, American Horror Stories. And I saw this image and automatically I thought I have to do that. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So strap on and let's see if I can do this. Next slide, let's go. Alright, blocked eyebrows, check. Video for how I do this will be in the description box below. So I'm starting off here using my lightest foundation possible, just pretty much as a base for the paint that I'm going to put on top of it. I've been doing this just because it helps my paint job go on smoother on my face. And we're just going to set that with powder. And now I mixed a white and black face paint to get this light gray color. I'm going to concentrate that on the perimeters of my face. Since in the picture it shows that she has a very palish white skin tone, but it has like a gray tint to it. So I'm starting off with this gray just on the outside, and then I'm going to take white face paint and add it to the mixture and pretty much paint that as I go towards the middle of my face. Now I'm taking a gray eyeshadow and an angled liner brush, and I'm just going to map out where this hole in my face is going to go. In the ad, the model has more of a longer face shape, and I have more of a smaller, rounder face shape. So I'm just kind of figuring out how to replicate the shape she has to my face shape. So it's kind of going to be a little bit altered just to fit me. Now here's where I start adding the extra pieces of the cracks, because for what it looks like, it kind of looks like when an egg or glass breaks and you have all these extra pieces. But in this one, I describe it as an egg because it has a cracked piece that's inside and outside of the skin. So I'm just kind of roughly trying to get their shape and trying to add more cracks as I go along. I'm even adding some of that shading already in this one so I can tell the two different pieces apart from each other, which one's supposed to be on the inside and which is supposed to be the outside of my skin. Now I'm going to concentrate in this middle section more. So I'm pretty much taking the color and I'm pretty much pulling it in towards the center of my face, so it starts that shading process. So it can start the illusion that there is an actual hole in the middle of my face. So I really jumped around a lot when I did this makeup, because here I'm actually adding more cracks according to the reference photo that I have. And it's just adding more pieces and cracks using that eyeshadow and very thin angled liner brush as before. So most of the pieces I stayed true to the picture, but some I just took added liberty to add some extra cracks and just added details to some of them. And then I continued shading the center part of my face again. Again, taking that eyeshadow, placing it against the line, and pretty much pulling that eyeshadow towards the center of my face just to start the shading process. Just creating a whole bunch of shadows. Then using a really small blending brush, I'm taking a darker gray eyeshadow and really blending along those shaded lines that we have before, but pulling it more in and really making that outer ends of it really dark. So in the picture, she has more of a purplish tone in the center. So I start using a dark purple eyeshadow and I pretty much concentrate that around where we shaded the gray, but just pulling it in a bit more. And I'm using a bigger, fluffier brush to blend this all together. Now I want to keep that dark purple on the edges, and I just kind of want to blend it out and make it lighter towards the center, since it does get very light and kind of almost white tone in the center. So I'm just trying to keep that all blended together, keeping the darker colors on the outside and keeping it kind of lighter, mixing the purple with a bit of white eyeshadow once I get to the real center of my face. Once everything is blended, I am taking a black eyeshadow with a flat smudging brush, and I'm going along all the edges to really define all these lines. This is going to create a deeper illusion on the face once it's all blended together. And like I did before, I'm placing the color down and I'm pulling that eyeshadow to the center. And I will go back and forth with the black and the purple to make sure it is fully and seamlessly blended all together. Taking a pointed liner brush with that same black eyeshadow, I'm going back into the other cracks and just really further defining them. Now I'm just kind of blending some out too, just so it gives the illusion that some of the cracks are deeper than the other ones. Now I'm using some white face paint on another pointed angled liner brush. And I'm pretty much highlighting around all the cracks to bring them more forward. And I'm also using this to clean up any lines that I may have messed up with that eyeshadow before, and it'll give it just cleaner lines. Then I'm going to continue on using that same paint and brush, and I'm going to start creating the spider webs. Now in the picture they're a lot smaller and there's a lot of spider webs, and I'm going to make this as simple as possible. And I'm just pretty much creating just a whole bunch of lines going across from each other at first, and creating just a whole bunch of like webbed lines as you would typically see in any drawn on animated spider web. For other smaller lines, I just picked a center to go by, and I just sprouted lines coming out of that center point. Then I made some U lines in between each of those lines to create that web effect. Back to that pointed liner brush, and I'm taking some black face paint this time and really painting in all the cracked lines and really defining them now. For some of these top pieces where there's an extra piece of the crack inside a crack, I kind of deepened the shadow using that black face paint by applying it on thicker along that line, and then I'm going to blend it in later with using some black eyeshadow. Then I took that black face paint again and I outlined the entire center hole on my face and did the same thing by placing the paint down, and then I'll further re-enhance it with black eyeshadow just to fix the shading again. Now the lips are very Queen of Hearts type lips. So first I'm replacing that white face paint all over my lips to give them a base to go by. Then I take a light gray eyeshadow and I place it only on the outside corners of my mouth, since in the picture it does seem to be quite defined. Oh, totally forgot, there is a spider in this photo, and I guess this is the part where I paint it on. So first I start with 2 circle shapes, one in more of an oval type shape, and then I make a smaller circle for the head. Then I start painting on the legs, which are pretty much just 2 lines in just right angles, and I just sprout them out. And this is the part where you have to pay attention since it's on a curved surface, so you have to look straight in the mirror just to make sure all your lines are straight and as they would be, just so when someone sees the illusion straight forward, nothing is curved out of place. Then I take red face paint and add this little red spot that it has on its butt. Back to the lips. Now I'm taking that red face paint and I'm pretty much creating like a heart shape onto the lips by what it looks like, but in the bottom lip area it's actually a bit wider because it falls down like a drip down the center onto the chin. So I pretty much start creating the shape using that red paint and fill it in. And since I knew it was gonna mix with the face paint, I'm kind of using that since in the picture it kind of has more of a hot pink look. So I'm just painting it on so it mixes with the paint, and I'm gonna take a hot pink eyeshadow and I'm gonna pat it right on top of it. And as you start painting down the chin, just start giving it like a drip shape that has like pretty much a rounded bottom. Again, this is pretty much looks like it's just something dripping down from your lips. Last but not least, you're going to add some glossy finish to your lips to give it that wet look, and the makeup is complete. My take of the American Horror Stories poster. Kind of reworked a little bit to fit my face. The webs are a little bit bigger as well, but I think we accomplished something today. If you guys enjoyed this makeup, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for the next video that pops up. If there's any other characters from any movie or TVs or any characters in general you want to see me do next, please leave a comment below. Just leave me some suggestions. As always, be kind to others, love yourself, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!